This is a quick demonstration of how to use Zoom for your Canvas course. First, log into Canvas and go to your course. Next, go to Settings and make sure Zoom is listed in the top menu items, for that is what students see on their course menu. If Zoom is located on this lower menu, which is indicated by the disabled or not visible for students icon, just take the Zoom link and move it up to the viewable menu, scroll down to the page and click Save. Once you have a Zoom Pro account, then you will just need to click on Zoom. You will see a page that says Authorize, so go ahead and click that page, and then you will come to a page that looks like this. This is what it looks like when your classes are set up in Zoom. So let's go ahead and schedule some new meetings. So what you'll need to do, whether you want to do a virtual office hour or if you want to schedule weekly sessions with all of your students, click the top blue button that says Schedule a New Meeting. And then here you can call this virtual office hours, or you can call this weekly lecture. We can call this lecture number 1 or just weekly lecture. If you meet multiple times, you can call this weekly lecture for Monday. And then if you want to add a description, feel free to do so. Go ahead and schedule the date that this will start. For instance, if you want to do this starting on Monday at 2:30 p.m., and you can do the duration, which is going to be 1 hour, or if you want to make this longer, you can say 1 hour, 45 minutes, or shorter. The Zoom session will not cut off at this time if you have a pro account. This is just for scheduling purposes, so it will show that the meeting will go from 2:30 till 3:15 or 2:30 until 3:30 if it's for an hour. Make sure your time zone is for Pacific time, and then set this up as a recurring meeting so you don't have to schedule each session individually. The recurrence can be daily or weekly, and then you can repeat this either so many weeks, or you can say in this by the certain date or after so many occurrences. So it's completely up to you how you want to choose this. And then just make sure that you're going to repeat this on the same day every week. Then if you want registration required, you can do so, or just leave this blank. The video can be set to off. The participant can be set to off, and then you can enable those when you start your meeting. Audio can be muted for both. And then at the bottom, under meeting options, by default, it is set to record automatically. You can uncheck this if you would like to log into the session early, set up your materials, and then you can hit the record button. If you enable the waiting room, this means that students will not be able to see what you're setting up, and you'll need to enter them in as they join the meeting, which could be problematic if you don't check the manage participants, which I'll show you in a second. So you can check this or leave this unchecked depending on your comfort level with Zoom. Mute participants upon entry, and then you can enable to join before host if you want them to join before you, or just leave this unchecked. Alternative hosts, this would mean if you would like someone else to co-host the meeting with you, such as a teaching assistant or other instructor, you will list their name or their email here as well, and they will need a Zoom account in order to make them an alternative host. Okay, once all these settings are set up, click Save. You can always come back and adjust these as needed. All right, there's my meeting. I can click this join URL because that is what students will need. I can copy the invitation if I'd like to post this in an announcement or email it to the class. Or if students are logged into Canvas, they will also receive a notification through whatever email that they log into Canvas with that these sessions are going to be active, and it will also show up on their course calendar of when Zoom sessions will be active. For instance, if this was a Zoom session, that would show up on their calendar. Okay, so if you'll click Zoom, you will see all of the scheduled meetings right here. And to start the session, you will come right here and click Start. To edit the session, you will click this link for each individual meeting, scroll down, and select Edit this meeting. And then you can adjust the settings again as needed. All right, so let's go back to Zoom and start a session. So let's start this Thursday. We'll pretend this is the 19th, and I click Start. If I am logged in as a student, and I'm going to Home and Student View, this is what they would see. They would see the Zoom link, they would click that, and then they would see they could join this session. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the student view and just show this from the instructor perspective. So I'm going to start this session. And then I will see a screen that looks like this and a pop-up box. Click Zoom Meetings and then Open Link. And this will start the Zoom session. So you will see a white screen that looks similar to this. You will come down and you will see your toolbar. Your toolbar may appear at the bottom of the screen, or it could appear up at the top depending on your operating system. What you will need to know are 3 basic items: to mute and unmute yourself, and to start your camera or stop your camera. So if you start your camera, you will take over the screen. When students join, you will see blocks around the screen showing that they are participants as well. So let's mute my camera, and you can also select the buttons next to each one of these items to adjust the audio or video settings if you are not having your voice picked up. So you can see how the mic is picking up. I have some other options. I can use my camera mic, or I can come to video and adjust my camera there. Okay, so let's go to the next items that you'll need to know. Manage participants is very important. If you are doing your session with multiple people and you notice that there is some type of feedback or noise, you will see a list of your students here. Just go ahead and you can just mute participants as needed and unmute them, and they can also unmute themselves if you see a little bit of noise happening with the mic going green on one of your students when you're trying to either talk or hold office hours or lecture. Okay, the other item you'll need to know is to share screen. So look for the green box with the arrow, click share, and you will see some options. You can share a full screen or one of these other options as well. I'm just going to choose screen number 1 and click share. You will notice what you're sharing will show up in this green box around your desktop or your operating system. So I can just minimize boxes. If I want to open a PowerPoint, I can do so here. So I'll just open this PowerPoint, and whatever I'm showing on the screen, students can see. So I can make my PowerPoint start and just start lecturing that way. If I want to enable my camera while I'm sharing my screen, it will look something like this. You can see my icon here as I'm talking and whatever I'm sharing on this screen. Okay, I will stop sharing now, and this is what my toolbar looks like when I'm sharing, and I will just click Stop Share, and it goes back to the white screen. I can also record if I'm not recording automatically, and I will just click the record button. If it doesn't show up on my toolbar, it may be behind the more options, or it could be next under this little radio button. So you might have to look for the record button if it does not show up right here. But I can go ahead and record this in the cloud if I have a Zoom Pro account, which is the best thing to do. It's an easy way to send a link to students when you finish recording. So I'm going to click record. I can pause the recording. I can stop the recording. And then at the end of the session, it will take a few minutes to process, but I will receive an email from Zoom with a Zoom link that I can then share with students in the course if they've missed the session or they would like to replay it. Okay, to stop the session, I will come to the bottom right where it says End Meeting, and I will click End Meeting, and I will end meeting for all. And that is how to start your Zoom session, schedule your Zoom session, whether you're using office hours or lectures or however you need to use Zoom. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to submit an email to canvas@apu.edu.